March 14th, 2026. The 15th day of a war America was supposed to win in hours, but something has gone terribly wrong. The bodies of American soldiers are now arriving home, not in dozens. In numbers, the Pentagon refuses to acknowledge. 5,000 Marines just received emergency orders from Japan. Rush deployment to the Middle East. Why? Because the soldiers who were already there aren't coming back. Stay with me. This is the story America doesn't want you to see. The official story says American casualties are minimal, but the evidence tells a different truth. Iran's Revolutionary Guard targeted every major American military base in the region, not randomly, with precision, with intelligence, and now American troops are being quietly moved out of their bases, into hotels, into private homes, into any place where missiles cannot easily find them. My assessment? Based on everything we're seeing, nearly 2,000 American and Israeli soldiers have already been killed. Why else would America urgently deploy 5,000 Marines from Japan? You don't send fresh troops unless the old ones are gone. Today, the BBC published something remarkable. A story about Pete Hegseth's latest press conference. Correspondent Nick Bryant was there. And what he witnessed was not a confident defense secretary, but a man under immense pressure, frustrated, annoyed, defensive. At one point, Hegseth actually said the media is not loyal. Loyal? Since when is media supposed to be loyal to the government? The Wall Street Journal, Los Angeles Times, American newspapers across the country are reporting massive American losses every single day. Even in Congress, questions are being raised. More than $22 billion in American losses already. The American economy under severe pressure. When reporters asked where Iran's uranium stockpiles are, when they asked if Iran has new leadership, Hegseth had no answers, only frustration, only anger, only avoidance. And then there's Jezeri Hark, a tiny island, just 15 nautical miles. But this small island holds 90% of Iran's oil export infrastructure, 90%. Almost all of Iran's oil flows through here. And where does most of that oil go? China. 90% of Iran's oil goes to China. America claims it has inflicted heavy damage on Jezeri Hark. But here's what they don't understand. The Strait of Hormuz is already closed. No oil tankers are moving. Not for Iran. Not for anyone. So destroying Iran's export facilities changes nothing. Iran has already stopped exporting. The blockade is their weapon, and it's working. But the biggest threat to this war isn't Iran. It's the American people. New polls show something extraordinary. 74% of Americans believe the United States is losing this war. 74% believe America should never have entered this war in the first place. And nearly 90% believe this war was started for Israel, not for America, for Israel. The perception is clear. America's Middle East policy is not being made in Washington. It's being made in Tel Aviv. And Israel's goal? Greater Israel. A map that includes vast territories from Egypt to Saudi Arabia to Somalia, every Islamic country in the region, targeted for takeover. But there's one problem with that map. Iran. Iran is not part of Greater Israel. And before Israel can take over the region, Iran's power must be destroyed. That's what this war is really about. And 90% of Americans now see it clearly. The Pentagon won't release official casualty numbers, but the evidence is everywhere. The USS Abraham Lincoln, Iran's Revolutionary Guard damaged it. International media confirmed it. Not just me. Not just Pakistani media. International media. In Saudi Arabia alone, 5 oil tankers destroyed. If 5 are confirmed, how many are unconfirmed? Why are new naval assets being rushed to the region? Why are fresh troops being deployed? Because the old ones are coming home in boxes. When those coffins arrive on American soil, when families see what limited casualties really means, this war will change. Not on the battlefield, in the streets of America. And then there's this. Netanyahu released what appears to be an AI-generated video of himself. Why would a leader need an AI version of himself? Is he injured? Is he in hiding? Is he even alive? The BBC correspondent wrote that Iran's weapons are hidden underground like rats. But today, the only rats hiding in tunnels are in Tel Aviv. 15 days. 15 days since this war began. And in 15 days, Iran has done what no country has done in decades. They have fought the world's only superpower, and they are not losing. America is not winning. The polls say it. The media says it. The Pentagon's frustration says it. When coffins start arriving home in numbers America hasn't seen in generations. When families see the true cost of a war fought for another country's ambitions. The question is no longer whether America can win this war. The question is, how does America survive losing it?